The Washington Post reporting this change could disproportionately hurt Democrats. So talking about this with us now is Washington Post's Aaron Blake. He is the senior political reporter for The Fix and is the author of that piece. So Aaron, walk us through this. You say the decision carries potentially major political ramifications, especially when it comes to gerrymandering. This could be problematic for Democrats, is the argument. Explain the way that would work.
Right. So the most obvious impact here is that it might dissuade non-citizens from taking the census. It might hurt a state like California, which may lose a congressional district because of non-citizens not responding to the census and being included in this count. But I think the other impact here, and maybe even a bigger one for Republicans and against Democrats, is that this could effectively give Republicans a new tool with which to draw friendlier state legislative maps. There was a Supreme Court decision back in 2016 called Evenwell that left open the idea that state legislative districts could be drawn according to voter eligible population and not total population. You cannot do that at the congressional level. You can do it potentially at state legislative level, but you can't do it unless you have the data. This seems to be perhaps an effort on behalf of the administration to get the data to allow Republican states to draw their state legislative maps according to voter eligible data rather than total population, which could push the balance of power more towards rural areas, more towards red areas, and make it even more difficult for Democrats to claw back in a lot of these states where they don't even have a seat at the table when it comes to redrawing congressional maps. So I think that's maybe even the bigger impact here. It's a little bit more complex, but it's something that certainly Republicans have been looking at trying for a while now.
Obviously, we saw the Secretary of State in California, Alex Padilla, standing beside the Attorney General, Javier Becerra, announcing this lawsuit. What are some of the other states that are really expressing their outrage, their concern about this potential change?
Well, you look at any state really that has a large immigrant population, and this is going to be a concern, especially for Democratic politicians. But by the way, there are some states that are on the border of potentially losing districts in the next census that could be, harmed by this, and that actually may cost Republicans a district in some of these states. You look at a state like North Carolina, which is kind of teetering on the edge of being able to add another district, and that could be a Republican district that comes at their expense. So, this isn't totally simple, but I think on balance, it's pretty clear why Democrats are fighting back against this and why we're seeing this effort coming from states like California.
Aaron Blake is the senior political reporter at The Washington Post. Aaron, appreciate your time. Thanks, my friend.